Good afternoon, everyone from Cork, and thank you to those who are taking the time to listen to this. As Mairead very kindly said, my own name is Chris Moran, and I am delighted to be speaking on behalf of myself and Dr. Noreen Byrne, who is the other Programme Director on the Sustainable Development Agri-Food and Cooperatives programme. So over the next 12 to 13 or 14 minutes, what I'll try to do is to present some of the key value propositions and unique characteristics about our particular masters, and do that as much as possible through storytelling, through the testimonials and the perspectives of both current and former students, as well as some external stakeholders as well. So first and foremost, what we would like to highlight is that the programme is very much designed for students who want to build both the skills and the confidence to become leaders and independent thinkers in the urgently called for and necessary transition to a more sustainable, cooperative and fair future. And this is done by developing skills for cultivating greater cooperation to address environmental, social, cultural and economic challenges that are facing humanity all over the globe today and moving forward, and also encouraging students to develop their capacity to think critically about these societal issues and the wicked problems in sustainability, with a focus notably on the agri-food sector. If you think about who this is for, so there are a variety of different topics that are covered within the Masters. So I think if you are currently viewing yourself as conscious of or concerned about some of the complex and the urgent societal challenges that I mentioned, then I think this programme can be a transformative stepping stone on your own journey in striving to make your own contribution, or to continue to make your own contribution to this transition to a more sustainable and cooperative society and world. So some of the topics include sustainable rural development, sustainable food systems, cooperative and collaborative responses to current societal issues, agri-food economics, and the sharing economy. And I think what can be quite useful is that there's a wide variety of different topics that you're exposed to over the course of the Masters in the 7 months of the modules, and in the 5 months of the practice-based research project. And then you also have the flexibility and the scope to delve into some of those topics in more detail through the practical and collaborative assignments and the research projects. Which brings me on to the next point, which is the very much experiential and integrated learning approaches that we're taking, that speak to both the practice-based research project and placement, highly applied assessment. So what we do put quite a lot of importance on is directly consulting and engaging with internal stakeholders, so students and colleagues here within the business school and the university, but also external stakeholders in communities of practice and in industry, and shaping the curriculum of the Masters in order to place the student voice very much at the very centre, and for it to be as tailored, specialised and impactful as possible. So we do have regular field trips and guest speakers to bring in that real world perspective, and to develop those practical skills and discussions as much as we can. And there's quite creative and bold assessments as well that collaborate with these industry and community partners to address real life problems through both consultation and co-creation. And this is looking to equip students with the ability to address these problems both during the Masters and beyond in their own path. In relation to some of the skills that are very much transferable in nature, including project management, sustainability, communications and data analysis, the practice-based research project can be a useful element in this regard, in allowing students the opportunity to work with and collaborate with a host organisation or a business for 5 months in addressing a problem or a challenge that they might be facing. And as you can see on the quote from Megan Tarr, who was one of our graduates who actually graduated 2 weeks ago from last year's cohort, speaking about some of the real world practices and skills that she developed. which has now helped her to move into her current role as a harvest impact officer with the bioregioning Southeast Ireland in the context of moving towards more sustainable food systems. One of the patterns and themes has come up in some of the testimonials and conversations we've had with students is the idea of it being a well-worth decision and having a lasting impact. And some of the students, as Stephanie DeBuck mentions on the quote on the left-hand side there, was very much the way of teaching and learning and the hands-on real-life experience that she gained that were very much centered on cooperation and collaboration, which, as previously mentioned, are very much at the core of the overall ethos of the Masters. If we think then about where the program can bring you, there's a wide variety of graduate roles, from sustainability and environmental officers to supply chain management to policy and marketing specialists. And some of the organisations with whom students have previously done the work placement are included here on the slide, from Ornua, one of the biggest dairy cooperatives in Ireland, to Carberry Group, with whom 3 of our graduates are currently working in a variety of different roles, having completed their work placement with Carberry Group, who do offer a scholarship as part of one of our partnerships with them. And the likes of IRD Duhallow, who is in the rural development space, as well as Ernst & Young and Lille are also there as well. And one of the striking quotes from Michael Walsh, who was one of the recent graduates as well, spoke very much about the sought after skills that became even clearer to him as he was conducting interviews during and after the Masters in relation to the practical research and the problem solving and communication skills that were developed over the course of the Masters, and it is now putting into practice in his role as an inspection officer in the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine in Ireland. And then Jason Hawkins, who is the CEO of Carberry Group, very much speaks to the centrality of the cooperative ethos and the deep understanding that students within this programme gain moving forward into their placement and beyond. So as I mentioned, we'd like to share some specific and hopefully relatable narratives and stories of some current graduates. So the first we'd like to briefly share with you is Leah Aston. So she came from a commerce background that she completed in UCC in 2024, and then proceeded to complete the Masters in Sustainable Development, Agri-Food and Co-operatives in the 2024-2025 year. As part of her placement, she worked as a sustainability intern in Musgrave, which is one of the larger food retailers in Ireland. And since completing the Masters, she'd been working as a transformation delivery consultant at Ernst & Young Ireland, and is currently working at a national level in relation to energy security. So you can see a bit more of the path that she has been on herself. Another interesting path is that of Charlotte Norton. So she completed the Masters the year before Leah, also coming from a BCom background, and she obtained the competitive Ornua scholarship and conducted her placement with them, and she's currently working as an ESG consultant in the area of environmental and social governance with Climaction, and she's also conducted research on the peatlands project with Green Restoration Ireland, again, which gives an idea perhaps as to some of the scope and the variety and diversity of roles that graduates have undertaken both during the Masters and then afterwards. Megan Tarr, who had previously quoted on the first slide, came from the USA to complete her Masters here last year, and she did her placement with the Connemara Forum, which is looking to drive rural development and enterprise development in the west of Ireland in particular. And as I mentioned, she's currently working as an impact harvester for regional development, which she has cited very much as a fulfilling and values aligned role. And she was centrally involved in the development of the Bushy Park farm not far from UCC here, which is an example of one of those applied and practical assessments that was integrated into the programme. And she has shared her journey in a recent Instagram post as well. And then finally, another one of our graduates coming from Colombia, Laura Jimena Malagon, completed the program 2 years ago. She worked as a research assistant during her placement and has since been working with Johnson & Johnson as a project administrator. And one of our current projects, as you might be able to see here on the image on the left-hand side, as she shared on LinkedIn, is an allotment initiative, which is looking to deepen her colleagues' understanding of the link between well-being, the environment, and food in a very practical and applied nature. And she also kindly shared some of her perspectives on the overall masters in a video that was shared online also. So to sum up, what makes this program different? What we are quite proud of is that it's the only masters of its kind in Ireland that fully integrates cooperative and collaborative approaches to the sustainable development and agri-food challenges that we've spoken about and that are urged by policymakers, practitioners to achieve the sustainable development goals. We're also proud of the cultural diversity within each cohort of students, and now there's quite a broad range of both educational backgrounds with undergraduate degrees in business, arts and the sciences, for example, and different career stages as well, which very much promotes an enriching and an interactive, specialized peer-to-peer learning experience within the classroom, which we are quite proud to say that it can very much transcend traditional classroom boundaries, and having students from all over the world sharing their perspectives and asking questions from their own backgrounds and with their own ambitions moving forward. Just to give you an idea of the numbers, what we strive to have is between 20 and 30 students within the cohort each year to very much foster that personalized, specialized and interactive experience. And over the past 3 years, the average size of the group has been 23 students, so within that range. And over the past 2 years, we've had, so last year there were 11 countries represented from 5 different continents, and the year previous there were also 11 countries from 6 continents, so a wide diversity of students, both from within and outside the EU, and very much with that strong practical element, focusing on the work integrated learning and the 5-month placement. And we do have full scholarships that are available also, that I'll be going to in a bit more detail and pointing to on the next slide. And a quote I wanted to bring your attention to as well was that provided by Derry Murray, who is the Programme and Training Manager for the Irish Council for International Students. And he's very much highlighted that they've received overwhelmingly positive feedback from our students based on the diversity and the range of topics, as well as the academic supports and the openness and the expertise of academic staff. And this ultimately has equipped graduates to return to their home countries or elsewhere in the world and contribute to realization of the SDGs within their own communities, which very much speaks to that global reach and that global impact. Finally, in relation to next steps for anybody who might be interested, as I mentioned, please don't hesitate to send us an email at the email here on the slide, or at our emails that are available on the link here for the webpage for the program, as well as via the QR code. We are also delighted to say that we have been shortlisted as a finalist as one of the best master's programs as part of the Education Awards 2026. So I'll be traveling with a few other colleagues to the awards ceremony next Thursday evening. So fingers and toes crossed for a positive outcome in that regard. And we're delighted that there's been a track record of being shortlisted and also winning that award in recent years. And then also, as I mentioned, there are 4 specific scholarships available for applicants coming from the EU, from Carberry Group or NUA FTC, which is also a cooperative focused on rural development and agricultural consultancy group, who offer 2 scholarships, and these cover the full fees and a stipend, as well as links to the placement itself. So without further ado, I think I will leave it there. I think I'm just under the time, we're over 14 minutes. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions, happy to answer them now, or please do send us an email on the email address on the slide, or at our email addresses that you can see on the webpage as well. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Chris. And yeah, it's fantastic that the program, I suppose, is so important for these companies, that they have put together scholarships, because it doesn't happen on a lot of our programs. This is a real standout program in terms of the number of scholarships that are available.
And we're grateful for those partnerships very much from those organizations. It goes a long way, and I think it's a there's co-benefits there for both themselves and for us.
There's actually a question that just came in, Chris, from Alexandra. Could you speak a bit more about the cooperatives focus? It seems quite unique from what she's found.
Yes, so thank you. Do we have time for me to answer that
Yeah,
now?
absolutely.
Right,
Yeah,
or I can answer it in the chat.
No, it's only me up next, so
Okay.
you can go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, and thank you, Alexandra, for the question. So yes, as mentioned, it is very much one of the unique characteristics of the program. And be happy to speak a bit more about that. There is quite a strong track record of expertise within the Department of Food Business and Development here within UCC, particularly the Centre for Cooperative Studies. So there has been a track record of quite a clear group of researchers in the area of cooperatives, from credit unions to agricultural cooperatives, amongst others, and ongoing research in that regard as well. So I think the expertise and the knowledge and the experience, and also the contacts to the cooperative sector in Ireland and internationally, is very much a strength. I think that's been leveraged based on the staff here in the Centre for Cooperative Studies and the department. And then there is a 10 credit module with a particular focus on cooperatives, and then the theme of collaboration and cooperation, and focusing as much as we can on that social, human and environmental element of business activities that is interwoven throughout the masters as well, and some of those guest speakers and field trips are incorporated in that regard as well. I hope that gives a bit more of an idea in addressing the question, but please don't hesitate to send us an email, or we'd be happy to have more of a chat as well about any of the questions you might have over MS Teams or in person if you're in and around Cork or Ireland.
Brilliant. All right, perfect. Thanks so much, Chris.